Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro friends. Today we're talking about confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is a really important concept to understand in our world today with the rate that things are changing, the way that information is getting exchanged, the challenges that are getting expressed throughout the coffee value chain, whether it be around the coffee price crisis, the issues that COVID-19 are presenting, race tensions in our industry and beyond, and a whole convoluted mess of what's happening between employees and employers in this very, very challenging time for our industry. Confirmation bias is an integral part of understanding how you will move with integrity and authenticity while you're navigating throughout all of these issues. Our audience here on the Map It Forward podcast is an interesting set of people. I like to think of them as the people who navigate the grey within our industry. They're people who are constantly striving towards authenticity and greater levels of integrity, and they're less likely to be tricked by a lot of the fuckery that's out there. And even when they are tricked, they're at least aware of it. Understanding your confirmation bias is a great way for you to, I guess, what's the word that I'm looking for? For you to scrutinize what you're consuming with regards to content, with your regards to ideas, with regards to other people's opinions, and then assess how you judge whether you agree with it or not. Okay, so what is confirmation bias? Confirmation bias is your desire to make sure that a concept is true. It's this need that you have to stick with an idea and conspire to it being right. When somebody is existing in confirmation bias, you are closing your mind to the possibility of other things being true. Why is this dangerous in this time? The reason this is dangerous is because with the veil being lifted off of a lot of the fuckery that's going on in our industry, people want you to pick sides. People want you to have a us and them attitude, and you need to pick which part you're on, the us or the them. And in these divisive times, navigating the grey and being a part of saying, actually, this isn't an us and them situation. This is a really complex thing to look at, and I think it warrants more investigation. That idea will get you branded a bunch of things. But it's the people that sit in that grey and explore the nuance and the complexity of a lot of these issues. They're the ones that are going to be active participants in creating long-term change that's solid and real. A few episodes ago, we spoke about this idea of building is really difficult and tearing things down is easy. And that when you tear things down, there's a rubble that you need to deal with. The people who don't exist or who are aware, that's a better way to put it, people who are aware that confirmation bias exists and work hard to check in with themselves to make sure that they aren't arguing about something or formulating opinions about things based on their confirmation bias, those are the people that are going to, that will have made sure that when the rubble comes down, that they have a plan for how to execute the taking away of the rubble and what to do with the rubble. What are some examples of confirmation bias in our current coffee value chain situation. This idea, I'm going to get very unpopular now, but these are the kinds of things that need to be spoken about. When we look at the coffee value chain, thinking that all producers are super hard done by, thinking that all producers are getting screwed over, and thinking that all producers are good operators in the coffee value chain in order to satisfy the guilt that you feel about the way that you're participating on the consumer end of the value chain. Your need to push that narrative is a part of confirmation bias. This situation is much, much, much more complex than saying all producers are doing it hard. All producers are good operators. Here's some facts. There are producers, and I don't know the percentage of them, but there absolutely are producers who pay slave labor rates, if at all. There are producers that participate in sex trafficking. There are producers that are not producing good coffee and are telling anyone that will listen that it is good coffee. There are producers that are helping cartels. There are producers that are doing a lot of shady shit. So for us to say all producers is buying into a narrative that advocates for confirmation bias. We fall into this trap anytime we do anything. All women this. Believe all women. Really? Believe all women? Believe all men? I don't believe all of anything. And I think that if you're just laying the statement, believe all women, believe all men, believe all trans people, believe all anything, that's you enabling a system that is absolutely going to fuck itself over. And I'd like to believe that we have created a more sophisticated way of thinking about things. And if we haven't, then shame on us. I think, look, we are entering a time where cyberbullying is like at unprecedented levels. People are getting cancelled left, right, and centre. People are scared to speak out about their opinions because they're going to be unpopular. People are scared to say, I don't agree with you, or I agree with some of what you're saying, but I don't know that you've considered these other factors. That's not a sophisticated enough society to fix the problems that we've got right now. It's going to drive those problems into bigger piles of rubble that we won't know what to do with afterwards. If we stop with the all thinking, the group thinking that comes with that, we're going to give ourselves the opportunity to think things through and to come up with solutions for everything. The crises that are happening on the producer's end, the crises that are happening between employers and employees, and everything in the middle. We need better solutions. We don't need quick solutions that haven't been thought out or discussed. That's a real danger zone for what could eventuate. We end up just sidestepping. And I, for one, would like to be a part of a solution that is long-term and functional for everybody. One that sees everybody paid fairly with an even distribution of power throughout the value chain, whether it be producers, exporters, importers, roasters, cafe owners, employees across the whole value chain. People need to be paid fairly for the work that they're doing. You need, as an employer, to be clear and communicative about what it is that you need from your employees and what they're getting into when they take a job. You need to be aware of the boundaries, no matter where you participate in the value chain. What are your rights? What are your boundaries? What's the consequences for people who step over those boundaries, whether it be you or the people that you're engaging with? We don't move enough as an industry towards the idea of having clear assertiveness practices. If you're an individual that wants to get better acquainted with assertiveness practices, we had a psychologist, we paid a psychologist to give a full day workshop, which we have made available on our website, mapitforward.org/webinars. There's a lot of great content in there. Everyone that's taken it has raved about what it's taught them about themselves. A lot of it was hard for them to accept of the role that they were playing in allowing other people to take away their rights. But the better part about that was that once they were aware of it, they were able to see how they could stop it. For me, that's what I live for, is to help people understand the role that they're playing in advocating for and against themselves and giving them the opportunity to change that. I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you can really be aware and cognizant about the role that confirmation bias plays in you needing to be right and the ideas that you have to be right. Divorce yourself from your ideas. Divorce yourself from any kinds of ideologies, and you'll start to see that you open up a world of possibilities that are so far from you needing to be right that swimming in your own thoughts becomes an absolute exciting pleasure. And having conversations with people is ridiculously exciting because you're about to learn a fuck ton about the way other people think. I may just be a nerd when it comes to that stuff, but it's really exciting. It's a really great way to form connections with people. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.